Can you keep that in?
Please.
That's a lot in your mom's house, and I do like that. Okay.
Should we get a fart mic?
I would like a fart mic. I'm not a comfortable farter in public. Do you fart in public, Jim? Jim Flannigan, the guest today. Mr. the world famous
Let's go
Jim
right at
Flannigan.
it, dude.
Right at it.
I mean, if I have to, I try not to.
Yeah,
but
I try not to, Jim. I try not to in front of you. In front of anybody.
Why would you? Why would you?
Some people don't care.
Yeah,
some people
like
don't
those
care
people.
at all. They'll be in public and then they'll laugh it off. I'm like, I'm uncomfortable even though you laughed about it.
Try being almost 40 and your friends are still like that. You're just like, oh, you didn't outgrow that ever.
Okay,
Okay,
cool. Jim, you're almost 40.
Okay, let's not cut it. Cut it. She was right the first time. Well, let's cut this whole podcast. Let's shut this operation down.
That's insane. I couldn't tell with that jacket.
Okay, all right, calm down. All right, you're just gonna.
40 years
Is this a
old.
roast show? Is that what it is?
Hit me back.
I don't think there's anything to say yet. You're just attacking out of nowhere.
I'm sorry. It just comes out. How are you?
I'm well, and you?
I'm doing really well. My hands are sweaty, but besides that.
Congratulations on the success of your podcast. I mean, this
Thank
is
you. Yeah, it's just
life altering. How have things changed since the release?
Well, my hands have been. This is pretty standard. That's pretty standard. I kind of like that to happen everywhere.
Gabs. That's perfect.
A lot more anxiety induced. You want to know what? I feel like this podcast is gonna be because I feel like I've lived two separate lives my whole life. Like I've been like I'm a people pleaser. Okay, so like if I'm around my church friends, my religious friends, I'm like, yep, hail Jesus. And then when I'm around my comic friends, I'm talking about buttholes and farting. And then so I'm putting this podcast out. I'm like very nervous that everyone's going to see it. And it's just going to be a judge fest.
Which one's going to win? Which Becca?
I don't know.
Like Church Becca? Is Church Becca going to win?
She normally wins.
Really?
Yeah. Because I think there's more because that's obviously is like the most judgment side is that side. So that's what I would say. Because you can be clean and the other side wouldn't be like, this girl.
Yeah,
Did you see how many times she didn't swear tonight?
Yeah, they do.
They do that.
I do. Exactly what happens.
You're right.
It's not for me. I mean, I get. I don't want to hear that.
I mean, anybody could tell clean jokes.
Brian Regan's pretty good at it. Brian Regan's. I can take him. Most clean comics, I don't care for.
I don't care for. It's like, who is it for? Who's the demon inside? You know, if you're being clean, I don't trust him.
And I don't know why, I'm taking up for it. I think it was because right before the episode started, you made fun of me and about being clean, and I'm not a clean comic, but I feel like I have that
stigma.
Yeah.
But I think
probably
because
you just said it.
Is it because I just said,
ago.
Jim Flannigan is a clean comic? But you're more clean you're more polished. You could go. You're what I want to be because you could go anywhere and do any type of comedy.
I can work cleaner if needed.
Yes. That being said, I don't know a dirty joke that you have.
Yeah, that's true. That's very.
That being said, I would say
you got a point. You know, you don't know what joke I have, so that's.
I think
I know. Like you have heard most of them.
I think I've known you for a long time. You were the first one of the first Chicago comics I ever met in my life. We met in
DeKalb.
Right? DeKalb.
The House Cafe.
House Cafe.
House Pub.
Yep.
One of those.
There was 2 people there.
Yeah.
I remember that.
We got paid out of a bucket, which was the bucket money was the producer's money.
Yep. Yeah,
and you have to pretend not to know that and just go, oh, cool, I'll take it anyway. Thank you. I want to get part of my gas money covered. Yeah,
worst part is I was a producer and I didn't put any money in the bucket. The other producers were like, we should. And I was like,
walking outside. I'll carry the amps to the car and everything. She's never lifted anything before.
No. Yeah, that was a bad and I feel like I was doing a long time because I only had 2 minutes. I remember that night very well. Wow, I didn't remember.
Yeah, who was it? KB Marion? KB. That was the first time I hung out with KB, and we ran across the street and grabbed a beer. And
I didn't know that. That's what you guys were doing.
Yeah.
You guys were like, oh, we both went to college here, didn't you? Or no? Yeah. We're gonna walk around and talk about the good old days.
That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
We're gonna go
and
back.
I thought at that time you were almost 40.
Put on our Letterman jackets. That's hurtful. And just kind of walk around the campus. Hey, see if Archie's still over there.
That's literally what you said.
No, we said, hey,
guys,
we're going across the street to grab a drink if everyone wants to go.
You said we're going to walk around.
Did not say that.
You said we're going to walk around town. See
it wasn't even on campus.
Kids, we went to school here.
Don't do that.
used
I went to
come
school
here.
there for a semester. I don't even know what road we were on. I didn't say we went to school. I maybe did a bit about it, but I didn't say anything else about going to school there.
Yeah, I feel like I got it.
Hey, since I went to college around these parts, me and KB just gonna go walk the area I definitely remember.
Literally what you
Was
said.
that the sentence?
And then I was like,
it does sound like
yeah.
me in
And I was like, I
hindsight.
think I'm gonna mosey on home. Was it? I think there was a Pokemon convention. Was that the same? Not Pokemon. A Pokemon Go. There was like a tent. Was that the same time you were set up? I frequented
no.
Cal. That was my show.
Okay, sure it was.
A producer, but the other time it was like packed around the show because there was like you remember when Pokemon Go and they had like tents set up? I'd never seen that in my life. Kids were like walking around with their phones all around the.
That's crazy. Did you play it?
I dabbled.
You did?
Yeah.
Do you still?
No, I played. I don't even remember how to play it anymore. I used to play Pokemon Stadium, the mini games, on the Nintendo 64. Did you ever play that?
I was like just before Pokemon.
Okay.
Like the first Pokemon. You know what I mean? Like it was just.
I don't know what you're saying.
Outside of my reach.
A bit too far for me, but I remember playing the Pokemon. Did you play Nintendo 64 at all?
I didn't play Nintendo 64 much.
Wow.
I went from Genesis to PlayStation, maybe.
Okay.
Am I bragging right now? I don't even know.
Yeah, a little bit. You had money.
We did not.
You did
no,
not.
we really didn't. But we like my brother would work to buy himself a video game system and I would play it.
Yeah.
So
you're a hardworking family now. I feel bad.
No, why would you think that? We're not hard. No, we just didn't have money. We're just dumb.
Yeah.
Like we're not like
Dumb
wealthy.
family.
We're also not like hardworking. No, we're just idiots. So we're like, yeah, we'll go to that job for 40 hours a week forever. That's fine. Mm-hmm.
And job well done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I should take out a second mortgage. Yeah.
I feel like that's me. Every time I get a little bit of money, I'm like, I should spend
Gone.
this money. I should get a car. I should take out a loan. I'm just.
Like, I mean, no one taught us. We just didn't have. It was never. Like my brother was the first one in the family to drop out of college, and that wasn't a bad thing. That was like a sign. Like, wow, he's done better than anyone has done before. He made it there for a little bit, and so I mean, we just never. It was never a thought or anything.
Did your I feel like my parents knew, but they didn't pass it down. Did you feel like your parents, like, if you asked them about finance, they would have been helpful?
A little bit,
I
like
feel like
more than we knew,
yeah.
right? But not a lot. Your family, though, yours was making up numbers and shit as they went, right?
Oh, yeah,
You guys were.
Well, they were. Now I know
Like-
that it was pyramid schemey type of businesses. Like it was like selling, like they would sell like air purifiers. And I remember one time when I was in high school, my brother's friend was like, "Yeah, it's a pyramid scheme." I was like, "You don't know what the fuck you're talking about." And then like my parents were like, they tried to recruit me to do the business, and every business they've gotten afterwards, they would like. Now my mom tried to sell me CBD oil last month, and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ!
It's like religious pampered chef parties and stuff, just for other homeschool kids. Like,
You want to know what? That's in my town. That's huge. The pampered chef, the stupid leggings. I forget what that's called. Like
LuLaRoe?
Lululemon. The weight loss ones. I had somebody tell me it looks like I'm struggling with my weight. Some dumb bitch from Janesville who's also very fat. And then she was like, I have these, those wraps, those like tightening wraps.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I was pissed.
Have you ever tried those?
Of course.
Have you really?
Of course I bought them. No, my sisters have. I've tried the waist trainers. I've tried that. But you've done waist trainers?
Like every decade they came back as a fad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I was a kid, my mom had one. She was trying it. So you just tried it as a kid.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this is it? All I can do is just eat and I'm going to see results. And then
Perfect.
I forgot to ever check for results. So I just kept like living like it was working.
Wait, did you wear them?
I'm wearing one right now. Yeah, I don't know if you understand that. I am wearing one as we speak.
I did notice. I did it with the jacket.
It's the
Wait,
jacket
no, it
covers the
doesn't.
vibrations.
It's no. They don't vibrate.
They don't vibrate anymore?
No.
They like back in the day
They
did.
used to vibrate.
Mhm.
Okay,
They used
you
to
wore
vibrate.
one.
Maybe that's what. Never mind. I don't want to know.
I don't. What'd you take? Yeah,
I don't know what my mom had one for.
Yeah.
I don't. Hopefully, it was.
I don't think you took your mom's waist trainer.
Stop it. That's not a waist trainer.
It's not a waist trainer.
That's
How does she wrap this around her stomach?
Okay. All right.
Does feel nice.
There's like 5 guys. You'd be like, well, this is how. She's been married 5 times. That's the only reason I made that joke. Like they know the. Okay, that's fine.
Are you still close with all your stepdads?
It's the best question I've ever heard in my life. This is the best question I've ever heard in my entire life.
I don't know why I've never asked you that.
There's just like the most hard-hitting interview question. We just go from nothing to, are you still close to all your stepdads?
How close to your stepdads?
No.
No.
I
you're
talk to
like,
her current husband. That's about it.
Yeah, but you're like, once you're gone, the
you lose the whole family, pal. You know, when you lose out on
out.
Maxine, you lose out on the whole clan.
Is your mom's name Maxine?
Let's not ask personal questions here,
Okay,
Rebecca.
wow.
That doesn't seem...
You said.
I did. It is
You
Maxine. That is
you
completely
started that.
correct. My apologies.
We'll cut that. If you
Thank you
don't-
very
yeah,
much.
well,
Let's go ahead and just drop
put a drop in that. We're gonna do it.
until we bring it up again later.
I would hang out with anyone that my family, like my brother-in-law. I said I was like, if you two get divorced, I'm like all the way on your side. I'm probably only gonna talk.
You would
speak
lose
to
the
you.
family member.
I'd lose the family. She's out. You're in. I think get in here. We needed some diversity in our family.
Have you guys had divorces in your family?
No, we're very anti-divorce. So I think I won't get into what I think my sister and her husband should do. I think they should stay together forever.
My entire goal is to turn this episode around on you.
Oh,
I don't know why I want to
Well, challenge accepted. Put your hand in the fire.
Why?
And the rest of us just have never gotten. I don't think we're gonna get married. Probably.
How many? There are 10.
Yes.
How many are married?
I don't know. I don't know like half of my siblings.
Right.
But the ones that I know of, my sister is married. 2 of my sisters are married. My sister in California is married. My half sister is married, and then my sister Faith. Faith is the relationship where we're like, okay, they've been married for like ever, and the rest of us
Never gonna happen.
I think I'll have it.
Yeah.
I think when I turn like 35,
Ugh.
I'll get. You want to know what?
So long.
I know. I mean, by the time I'm 35, I'll probably have like 3 kids.
You think so?
Yeah, and he'll probably be successful, and so I can quit my day job and then do.
You think so?
And do comedy, yeah. And then he's gonna have to stay home at night with the
with the kids,
with the
3
but
kids.
I'll be able to like put them to bed.
Yeah,
and then go live a lavish lifestyle at
Sounds
night.
like
and then
sound like a real catch right there when you put it that way.
well, that's what I put on my Tinder bio.
Good.
I'm looking.
It's gotta be working.
It's gotta be. You want to know what? No catchers.
No, really, no
No.
catchers. Maybe if you stop
I'm
calling
looking
them
for
catchers.
Well, I'm looking for catchers.
Oh, catchers.
Because no one wants to fuck a catcher like from like the Cubs. So yeah, I want somebody who's gonna be a safe bet but has money and he
Are you
works
just using baseball
during
words?
the day. Yes.
I just want someone safe from dugouts, and money, contracts.
You know,
You're out.
You're out of here. Since I read that, you gave me a good book. It's called Relentless to listen to, and ever since then I've been like pretty cutthroat with but it's been a lot of sport terminologies, but only in I was jogging today, and I was like, "You're a fucking loser. You're not gonna make that shot if you don't." Jesus. That's how the book talks, man. I
haven't gotten that far in the book yet.
I finished it.
I'm not relentless.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
I had a week. I was gone last week, so I wasn't in the car. So I need to get back onto it. What do you think? Give me your synopsis
of the book.
What's the book report?
Okay.
What'd you learn?
I loved it. Well, first, the guy who wrote the book, he's very arrogant, like stuck up. So halfway through, you're like, I hate him. But then click on me, I'm like, but that's what people should hate me, you know? He didn't
mission accomplished.
He didn't get where he is today. He trained Kobe Bryant and Dwayne Wade and Michael Jordan. And
he mentions their names a few times, if I recall. I think
he hates LeBron James. That's the main thing I got from the book is that he probably mentioned in a negative light LeBron James, I'd say 25 times. And then at the end of the book, I was like, oh, I don't think LeBron wanted him to train him.
That's probably...
And I think
it took the whole book. That's
amazing. I think he hates him because of it.
You're like, the main relationship in this saga I'm worried about is the author and LeBron James.
And like, I gotta know, there has to be a relationship that needs to be mended here.
What kind of bad things was he saying about LeBron?
He's not so there's cleaners. No,
Kenny Omegas. That's for James. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, you don't think I know because I'm a woman?
Yeah.
I don't know who it is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your witness.
The record show. I read it's like a closer, a cleaner, and something else. And you want to be a cleaner. You can be. LeBron's a closer. He's he's great, but he's not a cleaner. You know. That's what he's saying about. That's what he's saying about LeBron James.
That was the hardest part at the beginning of the book, was not understanding the differences between the 3 words.
Yeah.
Like, you could easily pick something that made more sense.
Yep. Because I was like, was it a cleaner or a closer I was supposed to be?
And what's the third one? Like a carpenter? I don't even know. Like a closer, cleaner, cuddler? What are the...
A cuck.
A cuck. Closer, cleaner, cuck. All right.
And then I was like, I think I'm the cuck.
The cuck in this one.
Yeah. But I finished it hard, and then It talked about
That's what cucks do.
That's what cucks do, man. We just finished out strong. But he was saying that everybody, because you know how in the NBA there's a lot of like cheating scandals, or in Tiger Woods there's a lot of cheating.
Saying sports words.
I gotta know. I'm telling you.
Tiger Woods, there's a lot of sports scandals. Like he's a sport? Is that what you think Tiger Woods is?
No, I mean,
you know the NBA, there's scandals. Tiger Woods, there's scandals.
I mean sexual scandals or like abusive, but they have a dark side. So if you're a cleaner and you're great, you're gonna have a little darkness, and that made me feel good about some of my own actions. I was like, you wanna know what? Yeah, I'm gonna make some mistakes. I'm a cleaner, man.
Yeah, I'm 20% piece of shit. That's fine.
That's fine.
I'm a cleaner.
Kobe what?
Kobe's
a cleaner.
Kobe's done some things.
All right. He has cheated, yes.
That's all you're willing to admit Kobe's ever done wrong.
Are we talking in his personal life?
I'm just asking generally.
Do you notice how the fire went out when you said
I
that?
Really
when
did.
you said that,
I make
that
one
bullshit
comment about Kobe Bryant
and just
gone.
I think I am a witch.
The whole. I think pretty certain you are.
You think he raped that girl?
I didn't say that either. Wow. I mean, I believe women, so I would absolutely.
But wasn't she underage? Is she a woman? Yeah, no.
You're on. I do declare.
She wasn't even a woman.
Are we promoting that law show right now? Is that what
I'm just kidding. I think she was over. Wait, she was over 18.
That's the part you're kidding about. Cool.
Yeah,
okay, great. I'm just kidding about her age. JK about the age.
JK about the age. But no, I don't think that he would have done that. I don't think he would have.
I would hope not.
Yeah,
I would sincerely hope not. I would sincerely hope no one ever would.
No. Yeah. But you want to know what?
this whole thing's getting cut.
I know.
And welcome to Gabs. This is the first sentence.
I feel like I always take it there, and I'm like, I don't mean to, and then I'm
really
like,
riffing,
and then I'm like, it seems I have worked myself into a bit of a hole.
Why are you always get a weird accent when you do bad things? You are a character actor. I didn't even know that about you.
Yeah, you want to know what I'm learning? This book, man, I'm learning a lot of new stuff about myself.
Like what? What else did you learn?
That was it.
That's all of it. Really everything.
That was it. I did
learn. I can only learn 2 things at a time.
Well, cleaners sometimes they got to pick a subject. You can't be a jack of all trades. You got to pick one thing and really go for it. But I did learn because I would listen to it when I would go running, and then I could only, if I wasn't listening to the book, I'd like pussy out after like 1.5 miles, and I was like, but then the book is talking about, do you need inspiration or do you have the inner drive? And I'm like, right. I don't think I have the inner drive. What books have you been reading lately, Jim? I'm sorry,
No, that's okay. I'd like to know.
I really this is,
and welcome back to Jim Flannigan's podcast, Jim Jams.
You did turn that around on me. Oh my God!
See what I did? Boom! That was first of many.
You Joe Kilgallen me.
Is that what happened?
No, I'm just kidding.
I feel like I missed something because Webb went nuts there. That was
Well,
did a buzzer beater. It was like, ah!
I'm trying to join. James is trying to join all the podcasts together to have like an inner dialogue.
It's like a Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah. So that's like an Easter egg. So the listener can be like, oh my God, I know Joe Kilgallen. I listen to Joe Kilgallen's Pub.
Well, I mean, maybe one day Jim Flannigan will have a podcast on the network too.
What?
I mean, we don't know. We're just saying maybe one day.
Jim Flannigan, can I be a guest on your podcast?
We'll see what happens. We have a thorough vetting process.
Okay.
So I would love it. The question is, what are you going to be an expert on?
Oh, well, obviously books.
Obviously books. Obviously reading.
Obviously reading.
Mm-hmm.
You could do a homeschool podcast. That would be a cool one. I could not teach you things. Yeah. I could unlearn you.
We should do that entire. We should have. So it's Hari Rao and I, where we're doing a podcast where people teach us about different things, right, that we don't know anything about. And so we're gonna have like an expert come in and talk about the subject.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then we should have the homeschool rebuttal. We should we should then have Becca Gibson.
Like, I don't think that's right. My mama said.
That's not true.
That's not true.
They solar power because you're not supposed to use calculators at night. That's what we were taught.
That's the Lord's day. Satan comes out at night. He's like, calculate.
That'd be great.
I would love to come on. You and I were gonna start a podcast together, and then you told me I wasn't funny enough. I forgot what, or I wasn't creative enough. I forgot what
I think it was a combo. I don't think I narrowed it down to one.
What, you had multiple people who you were going to start a
No. It was like a combination of not funny enough and not creative enough.
Oh,
I didn't want you to think it was one or the other.
One or the other. It was both.
Not at all.
Something about being female.
Why are you trying to turn this around on me? Because you've said some things that should probably never have been on footage.
Sometimes I think since I'm a woman, I can say whatever I want, and then I realize I'm like, maybe I can't.
Maybe you can't. Maybe you can't.
Maybe in 2020, but not in 2018.
You're going to have to rethink having you on this network. Kilgallen's Pub's going to be like, hey, we're a bar, but we don't like that kind of talk. All right? We're a Southside Irish pub, but we've got some class. We don't need to be associated with people like that. We were going to start a podcast.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
You kept saying, maybe one day, maybe one day, maybe one day. And then I was like, listen, I'm almost 28 and you're
dying.
You're dying.
Correct.
I got to get the ball rolling. I need to disappoint my parents now. Got to get this thing out here.
Get it moving.
Get it moving.
That's exactly how it happened.
What made you want to start a podcast?
I've always wanted to do a podcast, but I wanted an idea. That was all I ever said. And I was never that you weren't funny enough or clever enough or anything else. I said I want an idea, because the one thing I didn't want was just a podcast,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I wanted something chipper jab. No. But yeah, so I just wanted, I don't know, I wanted an idea. And I don't think we ever came up with something. I think that's all it was.
I think it was. I think I hit you with a few, and then you're like, no.
I really liked the idea that we each brought new material.
Yeah,
that we were
I did love
working
that
on.
one.
But like, it's terrifying. Why would we ever do that to ourselves? James, we were gonna talk through material and then do it.
Like your bits?
Mics.
Yeah, we were
stuff we were working on.
Yeah, and then
do it. First of all, you're right. It's terribly uninteresting to everyone but the two of us. Also, why would you let people hear open mic process?
Because that's what they like. Even if you bombed, and then we talk it through and be like, well, why did you bomb? Why'd you do that?
Then they could just come see me bomb. I mean,
it
happens often
when you're talking about it afterwards. I think because it's funnier, because then the first part of the podcast, they're listening to you write the joke, and you're like, I think it's funny, and you'd be like, no, I don't think that's funny. You're like, well, we'll see, and then you play the audio clip, and then you're like, you were right. Nobody laughed. And then I thought we had gold on our hands, and now somebody else is gonna take that idea.
They probably are.
They probably are. They're gonna run with that. How long have you been doing stand-up comedy, Jim Flannigan?
Let's not do this, really?
No, this is
Right.
We gotta do this. We're getting deep.
Getting deep. I've never liked that question. I don't know. Well, and probably because I've been
because you don't have an
time.
answer.
No. I started. I'm guessing
the number one question in comedy.
I know. I'm guessing 03, 04 I started.
Okay. Well,
that
don't
took
make
a long
me do
time
math.
off of middle. So I've probably actually been doing stand up 7 or 8 years.
Okay. Nice.
But it's really the last few years when I came back that it's been something of like the reason I hate that question is because it's reps. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like we would do a mic a week tops.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it was just the same mic. There was only one place. Like I've been working out technically since I was a child. You know what I mean? But there's been some gaps in the middle. Like you don't want to be like, I've been working out for 35 years. Like it's there's like, you know what I mean? Like so it's more about the reps than the years. That's just the way I've always felt about it. But I've been doing it a long time, but only in the last few years have I really taken it seriously, and that's when it's been a lot of fun.
What made I wish I knew the Jim Flannigan before that. Before the break.
Life was before the break. Before the break, I was a mess.
Really?
Yeah.
Clean shaven, no beard.
Clean shaven, no beard. That was about it. But that was a long time ago. And then so I took a break. I took a girl I was dating moved down here. We moved in together. She was from Wisconsin, and
sounds cool.
So she moved down here. We were living together, and then I took a job at a company in Minnesota. So it was like all this change happening in my life, and it was like a big sales job. Yeah. So it was like there just wasn't a place for it, you know? And at first I would still take gigs, but like I wasn't that guy anymore. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like the person, I was getting older and it wasn't.
Was she pushing you away from it, or you feel like it was?
I think it was a combo. I mean, I think it was because I met her doing stand-up. So she loved that I did stand-up. But then once she got here and there's like no friends and a new job and I'm traveling all the time for work now, like when I am home, I'm going to go do mics. No, it's a terrible thing, you know? So the well just dried up, and then I was gonna. So I was going to move to Minnesota for this company, and take like a management role, and then one day, Vince Crow and I decided to go back to an open mic for some reason. I forget what it was about, and that night I was like, oh yeah, I don't want to do that. Like Minnesota's got a great scene, but I'm like, oh, I don't want to go jump into management, you know what I mean? Like, and just live this life that I really don't love.
Yeah.
Like, I love sales. I really do. It's weird and dumb, but I do. But, I didn't want to do just that for the rest of my life. But I was like, oh man, if I do this, that's all that's going to happen. Yeah. So I spent like the next 6 months starting to do a lot of stand-up again and basically worked my way out of that company.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Just like I want to get out and I want to do something that gives me a little more flexibility. So that was probably like 2014 is when I really came back.
That's amazing.
And it was weird because like I had missed this whole time frame in the middle, right? No one knew who I was except for like people.
How many years do you say you took off?
God, I'm so sorry that just happened on tape.
No, it's okay. Good thing you have water.
2009. It was 2009-ish to maybe 2014.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a long time.
That's a long
But also
time.
imagine the differences in who you are over those 5 years, you know? And then in other ways, like when you're like, oh shit, I'm not that different over 5 years, which is even scarier. Like, but I mean, your material's not who you are anymore.
Yep.
So I was lucky because I had some stuff, but it wasn't me. It was rehearsed. It wasn't good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
well,
it was just there.
You're a whole different person.
You have to be, right? You hope so.
Yeah.
And so
that's kind of good to know because I always wonder, like, because you're not the same comic you were when you first started as opposed to 8 years later. But also, sometimes I don't know if, like, when I'm evolving in life, if I'm
helping or hurting.
Well, not helping or hurting, but if I'm becoming the person I am because of stand up or because that's a natural progression of life. You know, like because I'm just getting older, or is it Chicago, or is it like, but like for you, like your jokes are clearly better than you were before and you took that time off. So is it almost like you just have to evolve as a person?
I think it's everything. Like I'm super ADD. And so the hardest thing in the world for me has always been to sit down and write. I just can't do it,
Same.
you know? Like, I mean, even I had probably 25 minutes and maybe 15 of it, 10 of it, 5 of it was good, right?
Yeah.
Not much, but I had it. And none of it was from sitting down and writing. Ever. It was like an idea came to me and then I would kind of work through it and figure it out, and that was it. But I never rewrote. I never I never added to anything. I just did what I did. And I didn't know there was another way. It's so weird to say that, but like in 2004, 2005, 2006, when you're only seeing one mic a week, when there's really not like an online community, there's no
I didn't think about
there's
that.
no guidebook, there's no seeing other people progress, you know? It's just the same 12 people at the one.
And if they're not
one
progressing either, you're like, I'm killing it.
Yeah.
I'm killing the game.
And the one person who progresses, you're like, whoa, look at that. Look at them.
Are they writing
It's
every
got
day?
8 minutes. Yeah, right? It is. So upon coming back, all of a sudden you realize that stuff's really important. But it takes a while. It takes a while to figure it out. And I think, you know, I still don't write as much as I should.
Yeah.
You can't. I'm still doing a sales gig, right? So it's that yin and yang of what you want to do versus. But I mean, but I think it's a combination of I've learned more about who I am. I've learned more about how to handle my ADD.
Yeah.
I've gotten smarter. I've also gotten embarrassed by how bad I was when I came back.
Like,
I mean,
not where you were when you left, but when you came back, you were.
Because I was the same place.
Oh yeah, and
right?
all your friends
either progressed or quit
dropped off
or something, and it's hard because I see a
think
lot of
about
people
that.
come back. I see a lot of people come back, and it's hard because you want to help anyone who's in that same position you were in.
Yeah.
But no one helped me until I was serious about it.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
And they knew. Did you have people doubting you when you came back because they're like, oh, he's not gonna stick around. He doesn't love it.
For sure. And that was weird to come back stronger than ever before, I think. Like, and I feel like, but like with more passion for it. That's even worse. But like actually, you know, it was much more important to me than it ever was in the first place. So it was different. But yeah, I mean, at first when you're back, people aren't taking you seriously.
Yeah.
You know, and it took a while. And then what was really cool was when shows that used to book me that stopped booking me reached out to me.
Oh, that feels great.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's an affirmation that like, oh, at least you're doing something again.
Yeah.
Like we recognize it. We want to, and that's just a good feeling, right? And so because it was embarrassing being really. Oh God, the first time I did the Laugh Factory, Joey had me there for Latino night, and there was like 9 people there, and I am just eating it with my old stuff. And I remember, I think I don't, if I talked about this in Joey's podcast, I'm sorry. I don't want to tell the same stories again.
No.
But I remember like walking in, like I remember there's so few people there, you can see the shadows. And I remember Ashley, who was the manager at the time, like gets out of her chair, walks over and sits down next to Joey during my set. And I just know she's going, this is the guy you wanted me to see?
This is it?
This is...
Yeah. Is he even Mexican?
And it was just like, oh man, this can't be it. You know what I mean? Like if I like, I can't just do this once in a while. If I'm
Yeah.
going to do this, I have to figure it out all over again.
I have to be in.
And maybe I never figured it out in the first place. I don't know, but it was so yeah. You had
So
to be
that
all
was
in.
like your snap.
That was the
I
one.
really wish I knew that
Oh man.
that Jim Flannigan. But do you think you're writing? Because I feel that way about writing. Like almost everything I have is from, and it's because I don't know if it's because I'm lazy or ADD or I'm like, but I just when I sit down and write, it just doesn't happen. And then I'll go to like an open mic and I'll think of something, and then I'll like slowly like add to it, or
Yeah.
like a story, and then. But like I feel like if I sit down, I'm like, all right, write something. I'm like, it's never. I don't think I have one joke where that
Really?
came out that way. But I try. That's what I need to tell myself. Like, you gotta be writing. You gotta be writing. You gotta be writing. But
I've got to be thinking about writing.
Thinking about
right?
writing.
I've got to be like in a mindset for
all
it.
day long. Yeah.
Yeah, and I never was, right?
Mhm.
So I want to do more writing down the stuff I've done. But
Yeah.
again, I mean, like I'm doing 2 jobs, right? So when? Like
Yeah.
I've got to make time to do it and make a thing of it. For me, if I can get invested in something, then I can write about it all day. But I have to know that there's something there.
Yeah.
You know
You're
what I
not
mean?
Just like writing down.
Like once I knew I was going to recently do a bit on a subject, I was like, okay, boom. And I just started hitting it with jokes.
Yeah.
And the next day I had like 4 new tags on it that
Yeah.
were great. That were like hitting well, you know? And so I can do that watching other people's sets, which I hate about me sometimes.
I know. I do the same thing. It just. I think it just releases a creative juice. You're like, oh, like the rhythm of
I'm
it.
invested.
Yeah.
Like if I'm invested, I can write.
You
And
can
if I'm
write it.
invested in their bit, and also you're seeing something from a different angle. And but yeah, I don't know. It's just different.
Also for you, I think because you can write. I've seen you if you have to do like if someone's like, oh, we're doing this type of show, write 10 jokes about dogs, then I see you write them just like that. I feel like if it's not for yourself and it's for like if it's a TV show asking you to write, you're like, oh yeah, I've already done. It's already done. I feel like it's like that. So I don't know. And I think I'm the same way too. It's like oh I gotta.
Yeah.
So then I'll do it. But if it's like my own stuff, then I'll be like,
It's totally different.
yeah,
I can't do it.
it'll come out.
Do you ever give people tags if you come up with something for them?
Never.
Really?
I've done it like 2 times.
I've been doing it lately, and I'm mad at
Really?
myself. But normally well received. I
Yeah.
mean, and I try to like.
But
pick
no
my
one's ever gonna be
spots.
like, nah.
I try to pick my spots and like ask someone else. I'm like, is this worth saying?
Yeah.
You know. I did it on Sunday with someone I've known for a really long time. I don't see him much, and it felt kind of weird. And I was just like, I'm really sorry, but I really think I have to tell you this. And
Yeah.
he was like, I love it. I'm trying it tomorrow. And it was great.
Yeah.
You know. But
You've
I
done that
hate
for me,
feeling.
and I still I think 2 things, and I still use it. One of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So one of them I don't think I tell it. Sometimes I get I say it like bitterly since I didn't think of it. I'll be like,
What's the line?
it's the about my
I don't even need the context. I'll know the line.
the when you're like, "And neither do you." That says constellation. You know what I'm talking about? That's
Yes.
what you wrote about the Constitution one.
And that's what you don't like using.
Yeah.
So use it begrudgingly.
Yeah, I use it begrudgingly. I'll be like, this is constellation. But
What?
you always gets a hit. Every time it gets a little chuckle. I almost want to be like, I didn't write that. If they laugh, I'd be like, I'm sorry, I'm a fraud. I didn't say that.
Brian Aldridge wrote one tagline in my in a blood donation bit I do, and
Oh, which one?
shut up, you know. But I feel like saying,
Not the bit. What's the line?
I
we
really
all know the bit.
I really don't even remember the line. But every time, like, he will get comics like clapping during that line and like to come up to me afterwards and tell me that that's their favorite line in my entire set.
Oh, that's.
I
that's
hate
rough.
it so much.
Like, you son
And
of
he's
a
like,
bitch.
anyone talk to you about your set at all tonight? I'm like, no, not a word from anyone. He's like, you sure? So I feel like there's a lot of conversation in the back about one line in particular.
What did he
I
say?
was like, I'm pretty sure that's not.
Not it.
You know, hey, what'd you guys like about you? I mean, he will not stop. He is relentless.
You're like, ooh, go. I've never met him before.
Really?
No.
You're not missing much.
Not missing much.
I'm
I
just
almost.
I'm only saying that because I'm going to tell him about
Brian,
this. and
I
now
love
he's
you.
gonna-
Wow.
Brian James loves you.
Brian, I
Brian,
love you too.
Brian, I know you better. So I stand you. I tolerate you.
I could have met him. I screwed up big time. I was gonna host at the Improv, and then but the headliner brought his own crew, so the booker from the Improv was like, "Oh, do you have any other dates open?" And I looked at the lineup for that month, and I saw it was like Dave Attell, and then Brian Aldridge and like Whitney Cummings, and then I was like, my dates available are Dave Attell,
and
Whitney Cummings. And then I was like, why didn't I say Brian
Yes.
Aldridge?
Yes.
I'm an
That's
idiot.
always the one you go for.
I know. I was like, this is my chance. The universe will take
Every time
control.
I do that room. If I'm closing it out, I'll get like 5 or 6 people reaching out for guest spots.
Really?
And I just like
I try so hard not.
It hurts me so much because I know that they're like, well, this is a guy that'll say maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we don't know who he is, so he'll fucking do it.
He'll maybe do it.
And then also, it's like, do you think I don't have friends of my own?
Yeah.
Like, that I'd like to like just people I've never met. Like people sending me clips about guest spots.
No way.
Oh yeah.
Oh
People
my
I know, it's a
God.
totally different story. I'm serious. I've had people send me clips about guest spots.
Oh, that makes my stomach just like turn.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want to produce a room
You
because
know what I do?
Huh.
I make sure they know I watched it before I say no. Make sure, if you're
Like
gonna
I've
do
seen
that to
this
me,
entire thing,
oh, cool, I'll watch it.
and it's ass.
Sorry, I don't think I can get any guest spots out.
Okay, give me 10 minutes. I'm gonna watch this really quick.
Ooh,
no,
just
no,
filled
no.
the spot.
You
Just
should say
filled-
maybe first. Maybe let me watch it really quick. No, I don't think so. I don't think that's gonna happen.
That's great.
But are those people gonna make it more than we are? Because I'm not an avid asker for shows, and unless somebody like Vince Carone was like, if you guys want to go on the road, reach out to me, and then I did, and he was like, awesome. But like other than that, I'm like, I feel like I'd never do that to you, especially since we're friends. I would never like put you in a position where I'd be like, Jim, can I get a gift spot?
No, but I mean, yeah, I mean, with friends I would, right? And there's often people, and again, I like, let me make this very clear. Once, twice a year, I get to off night headline a club because they think I might bring people. Like that is all there is to it.
I don't think they think that.
Okay, that's fair. And I'm happy. I wanna do so much to help. You know what I mean? But like, I want it to be people I know, and I want it to be offering someone an opportunity. I don't want it to be someone who. It can be someone who's fallen out of favor at a club or something. You know what I mean? That like we want to, but like I don't want it to be someone who is working there. And I get it. And I ask for guest spots sometimes, and I realize I'm like I know I want to work on stuff.
Yeah.
But let's give it to someone. I want it to be an opportunity.
Yeah,
But
or
I
someone
want it to be
who's been
people I
working
know.
towards it. Like in your that feels so good when you can like. I've never been able to reward somebody, obviously, but like I like if like you like see somebody's work and you're like, I'm gonna help this person out. I'm gonna get them there.
Last time I did the improv, they screwed up the dates, so they ended up switching me last minute. And there was someone who I really wanted them to see, who was going to do a guest spot. And they switched it, and he couldn't do it. But I was I like stuck with Luke, and I was like, let's get him up. Just, and I didn't stick with it that much because I don't know the final answer. But like, I emailed both of them, and I was like, I really want you two to connect. I really want to see the set. It's not his fault that everything got screwed up.
Right.
So. I mean, you want that, right? Because so many people did that stuff for me, and so many people still do. And you want to be able to pay that forward all the time. But there's a big difference between people you know and people you're seeing work, than someone that you don't. And you still want to certainly give an opportunity, but I don't know.
You should be like, I don't think you're working hard enough. I don't
No,
know.
I don't mean that. No.
Not me. I'm saying like
Oh,
to the people who you are, to the people you're
I'm not gonna be mean to them.
But you want to a little bit. You do want to.
No, you want to help. I think that's the point I definitely didn't make up front at this, but I think that's what I want to convey.
So what you're saying is
It's
you hate all
when-
the comics in the scene. Who do you hate the most? Is that what because it seems like that's what you're gearing towards.
It's weird
just
when
want you
people
to
you
say it.
don't know
Reach
send
out
you
to you.
clips for like a guest spot. That was strange.
Yeah.
Who do I hate the most? I don't want to hate anymore, Becca.
Yeah.
I
You
don't
just
want to
want
hate
to love.
people. I just want to not worry about it.
Are you trying to? Are you trying to work? I feel like you are trying to work on yourself. Are you trying to just let go, let God?
I think so. I think so.
Let it go. Yeah, I'm trying to do that too. I'm trying every day. I tell myself, I'm like, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. I try so hard.
Yeah.
But then it creeps back, and you're like, yes, it does.
The moment you're like, why? What do they think?
Yeah.
Like, why am I worried about this? If they weren't thinking shitty things, I would have nothing to worry about.
I would have nothing to worry. And then I'm like, because I'll be like, oh, like these people hate me. And then I'll be like, no, like, and like everyone thinks everyone hates them. But then I'm like, but I do hate people. So people probably do. People will sure hate me.
I am convinced everyone's saying terrible things about me.
Oh yeah, 24/7. And then I'm like, they're probably not. They might be.
Yeah, but like, it does a disservice to the people who really do hate me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm lumping them in with everybody, and they're like, "No, we legitimately hate you."
No, we really.
And I'm like, "So does everyone. Get in line, pal."
Get in line, get back there. And they're like, "No, you disrespected my mother in 2010.
Right.
I really."
Right. We're your kids. We've never met you. And everyone hates me. I get it. All
I'm a
even
bad guy.
footed. Right.
Yada yada. If you're a cleaner, you're gonna get people to hate you. That's just how it goes. In a dark spot.
It's fantastic. What is it? Cleaner? I can't think of the
Cleaner.
other one.
I can't. It's cleaner. I even forgot the other closer.
Closer and cuck.
It's not
Cleaner,
cuck.
closer, and cuck. Cleaner, closer, closer.
Closer, closer.
This is Rebekah's ASMR video finally.
Cleaner, closer, cooler.
Cooler. Yeah, it's because no one cares about. See, we forgot him because no one cares about the cooler.
What's the cooler?
Somebody who just showed got talent, no work ethic, no drive. What do you have the definition?
Well, there's a bunch of different ones, but the one I'm familiar with is a guy who comes in and just fucking his energy just blows everything.
Yeah.
So this is totally different, and that's what's confusing about this, because this guy's three different. Because like you're talking about like a cooler, like at a card game, like who always like just bad luck.
Everyone loses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're like,
I want to name a name right now, but
that
I won't.
Monkey.
But like just that vibe, right?
Uh-huh.
But this is like these are people who are all greats in his mind, right?
They're all good at they're good at what they got into the NBA. They're good at what they do. But I think that's a cleaner, someone who's just good at what they do.
Okay.
And a cooler.
The cooler? Okay. See, this is...
It is hard. He should have used a different
our
one.
book report podcast not going to go well, if I'm being very honest. I don't read them,
like,
and
you
you don't
read the
remember them. No.
You didn't. I love how you referred me to a book you didn't read.
I started reading it, and I was like, hey, there's a Kobe Bryant reference right off the bat. And you're
I'm
like, say no more.
Say no more.
I didn't even finish typing it. I don't even know how you'd seen it yet. You're like, I downloaded the book.
Read it.
I'm like, the three dots. The 3 dots.
You say Kobe Bryant? I'm in it. I know I will meet him one day. That is I feel it, and I get excited. Sometimes I get goosebumps. I would if you don't think.
Never mind. I don't
want to go there.
Also, if the first part's not in this, if the first part got cut, that just seems real creepy for no reason.
I'm in there. Yeah, I'm like, ooh, Jim.
That's gross.
Gross. I want to meet him just non-sexually because he's a married man. I think by the time I meet him, I'm gonna be gross looking. I think I'll have to be successful. But it's almost one of my goals. Why I want to get there, but I think I'm gonna be like 40. I want to meet Kobe. I know I will.
Like 40.
I want to be like. I'm probably gonna be like 40 years old, and he's gonna be like at some like
But he's gonna be.
You're not gonna be able to tell what
60.
he looks like. He's.
Yes, you will. You'll be able to tell what he looks like.
No, like his age.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't think he ages. I really don't.
I think
he's not gonna age. It doesn't matter. He's gonna look great. He's gonna look. He's gonna like pepper into like where he is in life. Anyways, he's gonna dabble into comedy after he's done with his book writing.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think so?
Like what's his face? Blake Griffin. They're gonna be hanging out. And he's like, you ever tried an open mic?
Kobe has so much money. He would never pull a Blake Griffin. Like Blake Griffin has a lot of money. Kobe Bryant has a different level of money.
Yeah, he's a cleaner.
He's
got cleaner money.
I understand that.
Blake Griffin is maybe
cooler.
A cooler. He's a cooler.
Cooler.
But he's
cuck.
a cool. He's
100% cuck.
100%
We
cuck.
get that. Blake Griffin, 100% cuck.
90%. I don't get how that works, but
I don't either.
The other part cooler.
You're homeschooled. Of course, you understand percentages.
Oh boy, I get the 20. I get the 20%. That one's pretty easy, but not if it's like only if it's like 80, 90. Like I can't. If you go like what's 20% of 84, I'm like shut the fuck up. I'm not. I don't want to.
16.8.
Okay. All right. This isn't your podcast. We're not talking about. We're not talking about math. Okay.
I'm so sorry. I like math.
Blake Griffin's very funny.
He is.
He actually, people shit on him, but you should be able to do whatever you want.
Absolutely.
Once you're up there, who cares? You're funny or not. You want to know who wasn't funny, who I loved watching? Did you see that episode of, do you watch Will Smith's Facebook
No, what?
videos?
No. Should I?
Yes.
Does anyone?
No.
Okay.
Well, you want to know what cleaners do? He's very inspirational. He's a go-getter, but he's got this bucket list. Okay, so he's trying things he's never done before. He's running like a half marathon, yada. Most of them are shit episodes, but he tries stand-up comedy for the first time. And you're thinking you're Will Smith. You've done stand-up comedy. You're funny. No, he hasn't. And so he calls Chappelle and Neil Brennan. Neil Brennan is a comedian, the founder of Chappelle Show.
You know who the co-writer, founder? What's it, a restaurant?
Probably now.
Founder Chappelle Show. That's true. It's a good point.
Now.
Next to Bubba Gumps.
Anyways, he's like, I'm trying to do stand-up for the first time. I need some pointers. And Chappelle's like, you can open for me in 6 days. And then he's like, uh-oh. And so he's trying, and you can tell he's so nervous. Like, could you imagine seeing somebody and he gets up there and he almost eats a dick? Like, for like 2 seconds, like everyone's like, it's Will Smith. And then his voice gets shaky and almost in a way of like, you're like, I can't watch this because I've experienced it. I've been this shitty.
And
It was
then-
good. It was. You should
And
watch
then it was
it.
really good.
Yeah. No, it never got good, which was the best part. Chappelle popped his head out and he's like, "Stay on script, Will. Stay on script." He's like, his family's in the back. He's like, "I didn't know Jada was gonna be here."
Is that the
Like-
Will Smith talks?
Yeah, I'm really good at characters.
You
I
are.
told you that. Yeah.
We're doing this.
Anyways, it's a good episode. You should watch it. What's your end game here with comedy, Jim? When you look out into the starry window, this one behind you, if you want,
It's beautiful.
what do you see? Look out
know.
into the night, Jim. Where do you see your
Open
future?
this window.
I'm gonna touch the
Uh-oh.
ball while you say it. What do you?
Touch the ball.
I'll make it happen.
The proboscis monkey is.
I'm gonna
what,
call it
Terrence?
a hibiscus.
Hibiscus monkey.
Hibiscus Terrence.
I never had goals. I think that was the.
Whoa.
That was the.
Not a
I mean,
cleaner attitude.
trust me, I know. I mean but that was the biggest realization. Like I
When
never
you
thought-
started, you didn't have like why? What made you get into comedy?
We are
First,
going.
am I jumping? Sorry.
That's okay. Let's stick with this.
Yeah.
I think that like the whole idea that like you can be anything you want to be.
Yeah.
I never realized that there had to be like work behind it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like when
yeah.
you're a kid, like I never had like it was just never there was never anything instilled in me. You know what I mean in that regard. Like it was single mom, agoraphobic raising me, which is
Okay.
very weird when the only person like responsible for you is afraid of leaving the house. That's
Okay.
a strange existence.
Thank you for giving me the
know?
definition
Sorry,
towards the
absolutely.
end.
You got it. Sorry. I saw you light up once you. Okay.
Okay.
That's a word he used. All right.
I'm right there with you.
I thought she was in a band. I don't know. She's
You never heard
one of
of
the
that.
agoraphobics? I didn't know
Cancer?
that.
You know.
So like I don't know. I just never had plans. I never
Yeah.
planned anything. And I never planned for college. Like 18, my mom's like, "Okay, I'm moving to England. What are you gonna do?" And I have no idea. I have no clue. So I just started working right away. And I
Uh-huh.
never from there like it was never about what it could be. It was just figure it out as you go.
Yeah.
But I did, I think. And
Yeah.
and so like when you get to a point where now it's like, oh shit, if I knew, like I see 18-year-olds who know they want to do stand-up comedy. How
Right.
amazing is that?
Yeah.
Like 22, 25. Like I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird figuring that out. You're like, oh, it's too late.
Oh, I should have done it.
I would have a longer career if I started getting into pro golf right now. Like I could do that longer than stand-up.
But you're progressing at a pace. I don't think you give yourself enough credit because when I look, because I actually didn't even know that part about you.
Mhm.
And when I look at you, I think in my head, I'm like, oh, Jim has it together. Every time I know you don't.
And you look at Jim at like midnight and you're like, oh yeah, no
Oh,
way
yeah,
this
no,
guy's
he
got
doesn't.
anything together. How is he awake?
How is he awake right now? But you, I would think if you ask anybody, I'm like, what do you think about Jim Flannigan? They're like, oh, he's so professional, he's so driven, he's so like you seem like you have a business side of comedy that most people don't understand, and you probably wouldn't have it if it didn't have it. You probably wouldn't have had it if you started earlier, don't
Yeah,
you think?
yeah.
Or if you
I
didn't
feel like
figure
if
it
I
out
didn't-
on your own.
And if I hadn't had the business background.
Yeah.
I
So
think-
you do have drive a little bit that you.
Fair. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not like
No, but it's learned. That's what the credit to
Absolutely.
you. That's
Let
amazing
me make
because
that
you
clear, like,
didn't, and
it's
then and then you figured it out.
but it's still figuring it out every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And being like looking, and it's the self-reflection I think that's starting to happen, which
Yeah.
is what changes it all. So it's like, okay, what could you do to not, to do these things less?
Yeah.
Would it be A, not go drinking after shows 4 nights a week? B, stop sleeping? Like, you know what I mean? Like you start realizing, and you're like, if I don't sleep, there's more drinking time. Like you start to realize that maybe you can influence things a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And maybe if you
Uh-huh.
knew that 15 years ago, you'd be in a much different place.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's like,
But you
oh,
wouldn't
wow.
have the mindset now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Now
Now
you've
it's
grown.
just
Now
like
you've
figure it out
learned.
as you go.
Yeah.
Right? Figure out whatever it is you can do.
And when I asked you if you wanted to drink tonight, you said no. I am so proud of you. You said I got a big day tomorrow,
I do.
and I'm not gonna do it.
I do. And I don't know. It's weird. Like I like to take hiatuses from time to time. It's been a really long time since I've done one, so I like
Yeah.
to take hiatuses here and there and just
From
kinda,
drinking or from everything.
drinking specifically, but I mean everything.
Yeah.
I think
Cocaine. You're not doing the meth.
I've never done. I never got into any of those drugs.
No, I haven't.
I
either.
feel like though, like I've never liked anything that you don't have to tell me to stop doing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like everything I enjoy, people are like, you gotta limit that, right? like I gamble, I smoked,
Yeah.
I've never been, and I don't, but like I've never been like, oh, vegetables, like something that you don't have to be like, you know what? There's, you can stop at any time, right?
to keep going with that.
It's never. I don't know. So I've. That's one thing at least. You're smart enough to be like, oh, I probably shouldn't be doing those.
I'm the same way.
Ixnay on the Uggs, Dre.
Yeah, I think if I did cocaine, I think I would, because I'm the same. I like to get. Even if I have like no money, if I go into a casino, I'm like, love it. Food. I either have to be on a diet, or it's just fucking off the goddamn rails. And I'm like, well, you can't just monitor your eating, Becky. You can't. I either have to be like, okay, I'm only doing keto, or it's like when I'm off, I'm like, I'm eating everything that is in my, like, if this table was filled with food, I'm like, well, I'm gonna eat it all. Like, I'll be full and be like, well, I'll give myself 30 minutes, but then I'm gonna keep
going.
I'm gonna keep going.
When people are like, instead of crash dieting, like, you can learn healthy lifestyle habits that last forever. Like, why? What would you? What the fuck what are you gonna do with that? Like, that's scarier to me than crash dieting and then getting the weight back. Is the idea that I'm never gonna be able to eat like this again.
I know that is sad to me when they're like, well, it's a lifestyle. I'm like, well, is it sad? That's a very sad lifestyle. I don't think you know what you're saying. That's sad to me. That's almost
good
like
over here. Over
here on this
I'll
side
take
of the
6 more awesome
side
years
of the pond.
6 more great years than 40. I don't know.
And if you're a girl, it's hard because you can get the D if you're ugly or not ugly, if you're fat or skinny. So it was really hard to me to monitor if I was how I looked, because I was just constantly.
I'm still getting validated no matter what I do.
I love it. And then I look back in pictures. I'm like, I almost think bad about the guys I was with. I'm like, you guys fucking you're nasty.
Trust me, I have those thoughts every day. Like, why look at me. You make me sick.
You make me
looking at me like that. Get out of here.
Have some respect for yourself. You're disgusting. I don't know. Alcohol. I don't know if I have if I drink too much. I don't know. My grandma one time, we were both drinking, and she drank every night. And then when I was there, I drank every night with her, and she was like, "Becca, I think you drink too much." I mean, Nana, we're in here together.
Like over a drink, she said that to you.
Like, I told her, I was like, not yet, and she was like, come on. I was like, all right.
Didn't she keep? You've told me stories about her. She kept.
Oh.
What is that, by the way? Sorry, I was like, what's going on over there, by the way?
There's mice in my apartment. And
that's what it sounded like.
I was like, you got mouse problem, James.
James got mice.
I thought it was the monkey.
It's a guinea pig.
Oh, it's a
what?
Oh, it's a real live guinea pig. I thought you were over there doing sound effects.
Yeah, we got a real live guinea pig.
Is there a way the camera can see it? Oh my god.
We have a Presbycusis monkey. We have James has 2 more probiotics monkeys on his feet. What are their names?
That's Hubert.
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 Will he stay here on the table the whole time?
Yeah, he's not gonna run off.
Is this like your?
He'll probably pee on the table.
Is this your boring podcast move? Like, all right, bring in the live animal.
We're gonna get Hubert out here.
This is the old
liven the shit
up. What Johnny Carson used to do. We need a guest baby. Give me something from the San Diego Zoo.
Bring in the dancing lobsters.
What was that dude's name he used to always bring in?
The horse?
Jack Horner?
Yeah. Give me Jack Horner in the corner and what's the animals?
I don't know. I
can't think of his name. I want to say Jack LaLanne, but that's the fitness guy.
No, I don't know. Did he do that on Carson too? He did fitness stuff?
I don't know.
Anyways, my Nana.
so sorry.
Oh my god.
Tell Hubert and I about your Nana.
I like to think that my Nana's probably in Hubert right now. She just died and went, but she had a fear. Her favorite thing to drink was grapefruit juice and vodka. That's what she would drink.
That's awesome.
We never called it a Greyhound. I don't know why. It was just grapefruit juice and vodka. And then,
there's a name for it, Greyhound?
Yeah. And then, but she thought that Walmart was going to discontinue the Ocean Spray grapefruit juice that she loved. So every time she'd go, she'd buy she had a whole room full of it. And this is the fucking most, I feel like I've said this before, but this is insane to me. Like, she would make me go down. I'd be like, I got them all. She's like, well, get down there and look. I'd have to look. I'm like, I got all the Ocean Spray.
Get down there and look.
Don't
you go ask that boy with the pallets if there's any more Ocean Spray in the back?
She would do it. She would be like, is this all that you have? If we were going on a trip, she'd fill up. She'd just have a whole like a cart? Bag, not a cart, like her own. What's it called?
Suitcase? Luggage?
Yeah, I don't have
a
one.
luggage.
So
you don't have one.
I only have trash bags. I don't know. Actually, no, I do. Because my Nana died. To Kurt.
I'm so sorry to hear that, but congratulations.
Thank you. I got a lot. I'm wearing her moisturizer right now. I got a lot of stuff. But yeah, I like to think I'll probably progress.
Hubert. Jeez, I thought that was a spider for 3/10 of a second.
You're like, oh, you think that's a good live animal?
Just...
Is this a strawberry head?
Yeah.
You want the strawberry? Well, you can't have it. Have you ever seen that video?
No.
Oh, eat the strawberry. Come on, Hubert.
He gives him the strawberry. You get the shit end of the he
I'll
gives
ju-
him the actual
I'll just eat
strawberry.
this.
That's for you, Becca.
Here, I'll
It
put
was
it
to
on
keep you
top.
busy while Hubert eats the strawberry.
I fucking love Hubert. I love how James took one bite out of that.
Give it
That's
to
why she
Hubert.
doesn't want it. He doesn't want it. So you don't
don't
have.
know.
That's insane. Well, I guess I didn't go into. I think when I started comedy, I was just like, oh, I'll probably be famous soon.
Really?
Yeah. I was like,
never had that aspiration.
well, really?
Yeah.
I just thought I was like, I just thought it would be quicker than what it is. I just thought I was like, oh, I'm gonna do it for like a year, then I'll probably like quit my job, and then. But you didn't. You just were doing it.
Yeah, I
fun.
never did. And my friends, like, to this day are like, man, when are you going to get famous so, like, I can just be, like, the guy on your couch? And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Like,
I'm almost 40. You should probably get a job.
You
You know what I
should-
mean? Like,
you
this
were
is,
on it.
we should talk about getting you out of your parents' house first. That's not, I don't, but I never wanted it. I never
But what about
wanted-
now? Now that you've seen it all, and that because I always feel like you have very realistic goals. I've always
Yeah.
thought you had goals, but I feel like they were very like realistic ones.
Now I want to,
Yeah.
I want to record an album.
Mhm.
I want to get it
Have
on
you ever?
satellite. I never have. I want to get it on satellite. I know, James. And I want to be able to, like, I'm starting to headline clubs, which is really, really fun. But I
Yeah.
want to be confident doing a good hour. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I don't. I'm not close where I need to be. So, but I want to be able to get out. Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
be able to leave the sales world behind. I mean,
Mhm.
I love it, but I've been smart in kind of how I set myself up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, like the last couple of years, and just so I can start thinking that down the road. Maybe take something on part time where I'm doing 25 hours a week.
Yeah.
It's an industry I know, and then be able to just hit the road,
The road full
do my
time comedy.
podcast.
Oh,
Just Hari and I riding on a motorcycle into the sunset,
it's disgusting.
talking about what we do and don't know.
I want you to know that I hate him, Hari.
Why do
I
you hate
fucking
him?
hate him. It should
Why
have been me.
do
I
you?
should have been your.
We could have totally done a
co-
podcast.
No,
You got-
now that skinny man is sitting next to you. If I almost didn't say hi to him. I was on a show with him.
That's not
and
true.
I ate. He offered me some of his pizza, and I took two just to be a fucking asshole. I'm taking two slices.
What's the thing?
of
He
the
was.
pizza.
He doesn't care. He's
no,
not nice.
he's very nice. He had a hot girlfriend. I was like, I hate
know,
everything
I
about you. I
know.
hate everything.
Do you
about
even
you.
know anything about him?
No, I don't. I don't.
He used to be the lead singer of or he used to be in a Metallica Megadeth cover band,
That's so
and
stupid.
then afterwards, he was part of something called a chiptune band.
Oh my
that I
God.
swear to God, his band
In Branson,
is
Missouri.
the theme song to the TV show The Goldbergs.
No way.
This guy has done everything. It's unbelievable.
I hate him.
Anyways, a
Well,
nice
you think
guy.
he'd wear bigger pants then? I
Why are
hate
you
him.
roasting me and my podcast partner? Why did you have me on to do this? I really enjoy it.
Oh, do you
It's
like?
really fun.
Do you like this podcast?
It's great.
Okay, thank you. I am worried that it's gonna get negative reviews from because people are just waiting to see me fail. Like just
Your haters.
fucking my haters are
the
just out
building.
there in the building. PETA's gonna come because this is not an organic strawberry. I can smell it from here that it's not an organic strawberry.
What? I don't know. What are your goals?
Well, I want. I want comedy wise. I think comedy is how I will get there. I want to obviously quit my job and be full time in comedy, and I want to have a mansion with a slide going from my room down to the pool. I want a tree house in the
Right.
backyard, and I can have the podcast in the tree house. That's what I envision when I look.
So pretty realistic too.
Pretty realistic
Yeah.
goals, but I feel like we all have like a person inside of us, like greatness inside of. Don't laugh at this. This is what I really think, Jim. Wow, that's really from the get-go. You're giggling at this. It's insulting me. But I want that person to come out. And I think that's what we're all here for. I think that's the journey we're supposed to take in life, is to find who we are supposed to be. That little calling inside that's like, just listen to my instincts. I want to travel through life not listening to anything else but my instincts, and finding that. That
I like
person.
that.
Thank you.
Being that free spirit,
Being
doing
a free.
what it is.
It's not a
that
free
you're-
spirit.
No, but I
It's a-
mean,
It's
freeing that inner.
freeing
that person
that-
inside you.
Yeah,
as you
that
call-
person
that's-
inside
sorry.
of me. That's just penetrating me, and I'm like, get out of me! I wanna meet you.
How can you tell me not to laugh at this?
I wanna buy you
This is
dinner.
the most ridiculous. It's like a weird space porn. This isn't your dreams. This is.
Okay, this is what
There's
I
a
watched
person inside
yesterday.
of me, and then I'm trying to get him out.
Well, I almost got worse because I almost used to say it's like a child. It's like your inner child. You know, like I feel like the older we get, the more it's just like it's like us at like 7. It's like, oh, that's how I'm happy.
Yeah, just being silly.
Just being that silly. So that's what I want. And I think when I find that, I'm also gonna be successful. I want to be the best comedian I can be. That's what I want.
I think that's the most realistic. I remember a long time ago, Kristen Toomey posting something that really struck me, just about like, why give yourself goals that you can't control?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to be on this late night show.
Yeah.
You can't control that,
Mm-hmm.
right? But you can control all the steps to get there.
Yeah.
And like, why would you let a goal that is something that you have nothing to do with be something that drags you down?
Yeah.
You know, be mad about. I mean,
It's literally
like,
one
I
person
wanted
with
to
the
be
key.
on Letterman. Like, that was a huge thing, you know, for
Yeah.
every comic at that time.
Uh-huh.
You can't control that. You can't be like, no, stay on the air until I'm serious about
No,
this.
no,
Please, come on.
It's a break. I'm
Come
taking
on.
a break.
Come on. So.
Yeah, you're right. I think it all starts. I think if you're like, I want to, we can control our minds, we control our body, we control our actions, and if like that's our main, like what we're working towards. If I'm saying I'm gonna work towards getting on now, Jimmy, you know, if that's my goal, I don't think
And what?
like Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I just
I'm
any
just-
of the Jimmys,
Like, who's Jimmy? Like,
not you.
I understand that. I'm just
Absolutely.
working on getting on some guy named Jimmy.
Just some guy named Jimmy. That's how I'm gonna get there. That probably is how I'm gonna get there. If I'm being honest, that's how I'm gonna get there. But if you become the best person you could be, everything's gonna. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
And when you say the
It makes
best,
sense in my head when I'm looking
person
at
you
my
can-
window.
when you say the best person you can
In
be,
comic.
does that relate back to like the most true, like that inner child? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when you say like the best, you like the most true to that,
Mhm.
like the most yourself.
But also who it's like future me too. Like it's everything. Oh, I think just doing actions because I want to do them, not because of what other people.
Yeah.
Especially with this podcast. Like what I want for this podcast is to just put them out there and do it and not think of it like I better not say this because this person's gonna
Sure. Well, good, because
see it,
you,
yeah, I really
you have nailed that.
I know, man. Very nervous about that. But also at the same time, you have to respect other, because like I used to tell jokes about my sister all the time, and she was like, it actually hurts my feelings.
Really?
Yeah, when you're making fun of me.
Aw.
Don't awe her. I mean, there were true things I was saying
Okay.
about her. But so I was like, oh, maybe things we do affects other people.
That's not true.
No,
Let's
we
not,
can't.
let's not get crazy with this
I
whole
know.
podcast idea.
Well, oh, you can touch these.
Are we
That
playing
does.
checkers?
Yeah. Well, I feel like everything on this table is kind of like a good therapy thing, like a
Like the
like this.
the
that you-
candle that went out the moment I said anything bad about Kobe Bryant.
Wasn't that insane?
I just wanted to.
He's
I want to be like.
his aura is so powerful. His energy is so powerful. It just.
I want to be like, I'm sorry, Kobe,
I
and
seriously-
just see if it comes back. It was like,
You also just made the guinea jump, so.
wow, okay. We're known as the Irish. I don't think that. Good.
I
Glad
thought
you're not
you-
worried about saying whatever you want. You know,
I thought you
'cause
were Mexican.
I'm part that also.
Okay,
I'm whatever show you want to book. You know what I mean?
I'm whatever you want me to be, baby.
They did an all Aaron show at the Laugh Factory recently. I'm like, fine, I'll be an Aaron.
do
I don't
that.
give a shit.
I did an Indiana show at the Laugh Factory. We are just, we are making it. Do you think you'll do this? Will be my last. This will be my last question.
This will be my last
Then
question.
You can get
dude.
out of here.
And then,
Do you think you're gonna do comedy forever?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, why?
Why stop?
As long as you keep evolving,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Like, and that was there. Like,
Well, now you sound crazy.
I do. I sound like a
Kidding.
weirdo. God, that's what happens now when you start. I don't know. I think I want to. I don't know
Yeah.
why I'd ever stop doing stand up comedy. You
Mhm.
know, like you hope you get to forever.
Yeah, bitches,
How
man.
lucky
Make
would
you
that
crazy.
be? Bitches do make you
Bitches
crazy.
make
That's what they bring to the table. I don't know. What about you? You think like I didn't get into stand up to do something else out of it, and
Yeah.
I totally respect people who do.
I
and a
didn't. Do
lot
you
of
feel like
them-
I feel like
No,
you're
no, 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 no,
accusing
no,
me?
no, 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 no. I'm not accusing you of anything.
Yeah.
Why did you get into stand up?
Stop doing that. This is a podcast about you, Jim
Is it?
Flannigan. Yeah.
I didn't
Oh,
know that.
yeah.
It's not called Jim Jams. Remember we discussed this. How
That'd
long
be
are we
good.
at? Is this a Gabathon? Are we doing the?
I think we're right at an hour.
An hour 4, yeah.
Thank
that's
you.
great.
Yeah, I
Nailed
got it.
it.
And did you hear me say this was the last question? I didn't even know. I got an
Internal clock?
fucking clock ticking, and it's saying you better have kids now, or it'll be too late.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you, Jim Flannigan, for being.
Why did you get into comedy? We didn't get the answer to
well,
my last
we're at an
question.
hour where I started doing. I wanted to do it for years beforehand. I liked comedy. My dad used to listen to comedy all the time, so I'd hear it, and I was the only one who would laugh and like it. And then one of my close friends, JY, I had this apartment. He would bring over like Martin Lawrence, the You So Crazy. I was obsessed with it. I would like quote the whole thing.
Shout out to JY.
Yep, shout out to JY. He hates me, I think. And anyways, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. I want to do it. And then I didn't do it for 2 years because I am very scared of public speaking.
It's terrifying.
It's very terrifying. Like if I had a speech class, I'd leave. My throat would close up. I had to get out of here. And then I started talking to this guy who ran an open mic, and then we were hanging out, smashing. And he was like, "You should do my open mic." I was like, "Nah,
That's
I
exactly
couldn't."
how I got into comedy.
I couldn't really. You were smashing.
Smashes them due to an open mic.
You want to know what? There's something about an open mic comic that are just it's just so interesting. And anyways, I did the open mic, and then I was hooked ever since.
Really?
Yeah, quit my job. 6 months later, I moved here to Chi-Town.
6 months. You moved to Chicago.
6 months.
Right timing?
Yeah, I should have. And I that's what makes me want to keep like not limiting myself to anything, because I remember not wanting to leave there because I was like, oh, my friends are here, and oh, this loser who I'm smashing is here. I can't leave, like, you know, like. And now I'm like, why did I not leave sooner? Why did I wait till I was 24 to like, you know, do something with my life?
I feel like you've either got to go like right away, like move to a good city right when you start.
Yeah.
And I mean, Chicago. I mean, a lot of people move to Chicago, and it's an awesome step.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know. I've always found it weird when I don't know. I always just question the timing of when people move to different places.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not up to me. I never moved, so I guess I shouldn't say anything anyway. But
Because I have no horse in this
I'm
race.
the stupid asshole who lives in the suburbs. All right, that was my guest, Rebekah Gibson. That was my last question for her.
No, what were you gonna say? Do you think I should have waited?
No.
Or not moved at all?
No,
Or
I think
shoulda?
that's I think they're like you think about the right times,
Yeah.
right? And you think that like right away is a great time.
Yeah.
Before you develop any bad habits and you know what I mean, and any of the cop outs and things like that
Yeah.
you can do.
Which I was.
Were you?
Well, I think so. They were hacky. I still am a little bit hacky, but it was hacky hard. I only talked about black guys. I was like, I love them. And people were laughing. I was like, well, this is me now. This is my identity.
All of it.
I am. What's her face? You know, the one who does the roast all the time, and they're
Lisa Lampanelli.
yeah, very Lisa Lampanelli.
Okay, I can see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I don't know what I talk about. But no longer black guys. I've really evolved.
Good for you.
Yeah, thank you. Evolved as a comic. All right. Well,
That's the weirdest note to end on.
I'm sorry. Do we have to end on a closer? That's not
I
how
don't.
podcasts work. We
I
don't have to be
mean,
like, we got to
I don't
get a
know.
laugh.
We'd like to thank our special guest, Hubert, for being here today. Though.
Yeah,
We'd
thank
like to
you,
thank
Hubert.
Hubert. Do you have anything you want to plug?
That's a cat. Damn it.
It's pretty good.
Jim Flannigan, where can we see you? Thank you for coming on my podcast, by the way. You're one of the funniest comics in Chicago, one of the best writers, dare I say, in Chicago.
Super
Where
sweet.
can
Thank
we
you.
see you? You're welcome.
I don't know. Check out the podcast. How about that? It should probably
Don't
be
say
out
Hari's
soon.
name. If you're going to say it, don't plug it.
Okay, that's fair. I'm at Jimmy Flan on social media. You can see me at Zanies a lot. You can see me all over the country, hopefully. So check me out whenever you can.
No, thank you.
Check me out whenever you can.
Yeah, check me
I'm out of the business. I can't
Skip
do it.
Gabs. Thank you.